Hey guys, welcome to the 124th edition of the Animated Girl Profile Confidentials, and Merry Christmas guys. You're probably listening to this on Christmas Day, for I am recording this though on the 14th of December, basically 11 days in the past. But you are watching and listening to it on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to a lot of you guys. Hope you got what you wanted, or currently opening up your presents and getting what you want. But again, welcome to this 124th edition. The next one will be 125. The 125th edition will be after that. After this. And I think I'm going to plan that for a midnight release in 2022, if you catch my drift. But with that said, the title says it best. I can't think of a better character to really put the focus on here on Christmas than Mrs. Claus, Mrs. Santa Claus. And yes, she is eligible for, the Animated Girls Profile Confidential due to the fact that despite all the live action versions we've seen of her, from being in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade at the end along with Santa, seeing her in the Walt Disney World or the Disney Parks Christmas Day Parade celebrations, just all over the place. Even locally here in Newman and Patterson, we've had our Mrs. Claus ride alongside Santa. But along with those appearances, along with her representation in a lot of live action films, from the Santa Claus the movie to her showing up and debuting in the Santa Claus 2, to basically just about every other incarnation, Fred Claus, you name it, what else? Elf, if you will. Whatever other movie appearance she has been in from a live action standpoint, she has been there. But just as much as she's been in live action movies and specials, she's also, if not more so, been represented in animation. That's right, animation has been her calling, if you will. One of her more prominent roles in Christmas specials was The Year Without a Santa Claus, where she goes on this journey to try to get, the Miser brothers to, basically allow certain, elements of the weather to show up where they would never show up at all. Now, with that said, like I said, we have seen Mrs. Claus represented in animation numerous times, and it goes without saying that, she is probably one of the more popular characters, when it comes to, being animated in a story. Because sometimes she'll be animated traditionally as she is now. There is no doubt, where basically she's the support for Santa and all that. But also the fact that there are times she will be animated and represented in a more modern aesthetic, if you catch my drift. Sometimes stories would depend on her being the one to deliver the presents. Now, I can name off numerous appearances for Mrs. Claus, there's no doubt. I mean, if you want some origin stories on her, there's a variety of those, from the story of the Santa Claus to Santa Claus is Coming to Town, where we find out in that one her real name is Jessica, and she basically gets won over by Kris Kringle, the guy to be Santa, that's falling for him. She's seen, like I said, she's seen the story of Santa Claus. She's seen in that. She has seen in Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. She has been seen in other animation projects as well. Like I said, The Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph's Shiny New Year, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. you name it, she has been showcased in a bunch of these, back and forth, and forth and back, if you catch my drift. And again, the representations most times are pretty decent. They're actually pretty good. Now, could there be more done with the Mrs. Claus character, as far as animation goes in the future? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, they can be. And I think a lot of animation studios that are looking to do animated specials or movies and all that in the future are considering that as we speak. So there's no doubt Mrs. Claus can definitely have more to do in future projects down the line. But like I said, her appearances in all these variety of, animated outlets and everything, is, a what's what of Christmas specials and all that. I mean, heck, even Disney has gotten into it as well. I think she was shown in Nightmare Before Christmas. I think she's even been, represented, believe it or not, sometimes by Minnie Mouse. Yeah, Minnie's been dressing up as Mrs. Claus, Mickey as Santa. So yeah, she's had a lot of representations throughout the years and everything. And I can't think of any better character for the 124th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential that you are listening here on Christmas Day, but is being recorded 11 days in the past. I can't think of a better character than Mrs. Claus to cap off the 124th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential. But what are your thoughts on Mrs. Claus, ladies and gentlemen? How do you feel about her? What do you think was the best representation of her character? Which one? Do you think she was best represented with her appearance in the Rudolph special? Do you think she was best represented in The Year Without a Santa Claus? Do you think she was best represented with an origin in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, as well as the stories of Santa Claus? What was your favorite take? Did you like her appearance in, Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer? How do you feel about Mrs. Claus, in the animated world of Christmas specials and movies? How do you feel she was represented? What is your favorite? And do you think more can be done with her in the near future? Let me know down below, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video, check out the Teespring store, which hopefully you've already done because it is Christmas. And hopefully you've gotten some items from the Teespring store, mine anyway, that you were giving to your family and friends. And if not, and if they're showing up a little later, hopefully they will be enjoying them when you give them to them later on as late gifts and all that, hopefully before the new year. Also, check me out at BW Rosas Discussions for all your favorite audio. Hold on, let me rephrase that. What I'm trying to say is check me out at BW Rosas Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations, except for Pandora. And if you are listening to the podcast on Anchor.fm, I am close to 300 podcasts overall, wherever you listen to it. But if you're listening to it on Anchor.fm, listener support has been activated, as well as if you're listening to it on Spotify or any other podcast, audio podcast, streaming, service out there like Spotify, Apple, Amazon, whatever you want to call it. Whatever podcast, enabled service is out there that allows video podcasts to be shown. You can also see a video version of my latest Topics on My Mind podcast that I did live streaming yesterday on the 13th of this month. You can check it out there as well on YouTube, but you can also watch the video and the audio version and listen to the audio version, your choice, on Spotify as well as Anchor.fm. But like I said, if you're listening to Anchor.fm, listener support is enabled if you want to help me out there. Also, check me out on BW Roses on VENMO. Also, check me out on BW Roses on Patreon if you want to help support me there with the $1 or $3 tier. And check me out at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2. But until then, guys, have a Merry Christmas. Again, hopefully you're getting everything you've been wanting, if not already. And stay safe, everybody. And I will talk to y'all later. And thank you for listening on this Christmas Day to the 124th Animated Girls Profile Confidential on Mrs. Santa Claus.